so many changes on the ground, I think around 20,000 changes every day. The more accurate and up-to-date imagery we get, the quicker we can get those new features that are built and created on the ground plotted onto our maps.
We need to be as accurate as we can be because we're the government agency for mapping of Great Britain.
When our imagery and our organisation grinds to a halt, then all the people that rely on our services would struggle too.
We're a vital cog in the wheel.
And White Knight 06 Gamson Radio, good morning.
Gamston, good morning. White Knight 06. I've got 3 POB for an hour local sortie back to Gamston. White Knight 06, taxi to Alpha.
For us, it was a huge privilege to be able to work for OS and to capture the footage that they need to capture.
So we can be flying easily 6 hours in a single sortie, down for a refuel, and we'll get back up in the sky then for possibly another 5-6 hours.
They have a pre-planned route that they need us to fly very accurately.
And so you're always constantly looking at the weather, looking at the settings of your aircraft.
Because you obviously finish one line going in one direction and then you've got to turn 180 degrees round and get yourself lined up in as short a time as possible within 10 metres, which is quite a feat when you're flying at 200 miles an hour. So my background is military jets. Zooming around isn't anything I miss. You know, you do it as a young person, and now I'm very happy doing this sort of work.
Everything needs to be perfect for you to capture that perfect imagery. It can be stored almost instantly. So within a second, we can capture 2 gigabytes of a photograph.
That's around 400 images on an iPhone.
Targets that would get special treatment would be the opening of a major bridge, a railway. As soon as the general public can access it, the emergency services need to know it exists. The access ways, how to get to it, all that detail, that is one of the first things we do.
We had to fly those relatively high resolution. I think it were 3 to 4 centimetres ground sample distance.
Which is enough information to give windows, door positions, fences, all sorts of detail on the ground.
What the Ordnance Survey gave me was I had total confidence within a centimetre or so of if I was at that location, this is exactly what I could see. And when we then put the overlays on and the 3D imaging, we could then actually project and tell someone, this is what the picture looks like, this is what you will be doing.
Flying in COVID was really interesting because I remember days where you'd go to Scotland, for example, speak to Scottish Control and say, the weather's different here, we want to go over there. They're like, you're the only people flying. Well, in the area, no, you're the only people flying in Scotland. There's just nobody else airborne anywhere. And same to fly over London. To be cleared to fly over London is quite difficult, and often we get cleared and then get rescinded as we're approaching and have to turn around and the trip's wasted. But in the COVID days, it was, we want to go over here today, yeah, take central London, do whatever you want. You can go anywhere, there is nobody flying. So to be the only people flying was I guess a privilege, but a weird feeling too.
It's a very enjoyable job. It's one of the best jobs in OS, I'd say.
I feel very proud, actually, that I've just one of a few people in the whole Ordnance Survey that get to do this job.
Very few offices you get to work in, you get to fly around and see the whole country out the window.